Welcome to It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. What is it? It's everything. Everything you want in life starts with courage. Present.
Oshak Hennessy office.
Yes, Balake. Aaron.
We're just talking about one of our favorite, what is that? Like skits or videos? Key and Peele
comedians.
Hilarious.
Sometimes comedy's like hit and sometimes it's miss. It's like, oh, sometimes and sometimes like, ha 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 ha.
That one is definitely a hit.
It's definitely a ha 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 ha. 2023.
2022 is a blur.
But 2022 was hard to get. I found it hard to get into 2022.
Hard to get into it?
Yeah, like I remember March, April, I was just like, I'm not in the groove. Like I'm not there. Like I felt not stuck, but I don't know what I felt, but like business wise,
feeling.
Yes, everything wise, like I just couldn't get into it. Like I couldn't get into the new year. I
just felt like it just flew by. Like, I don't know. It's like sometimes you like plan for Christmas and like you see it coming and it feels like it takes forever to get there. It was like on us. I felt like that was the whole year is just on us.
I guess it's kind of like that. It's kind of like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September.
I think for me, it's a little different too. And maybe for people who are in sales, who work on commission, because like for me in real estate, everything, I'm already, if I don't have anything pending to close in January, then January is over. January is over to write contracts for January.
Yeah.
Because it takes 30 days. So maybe I have a few days left that I could write a contract. But like by the time we get to January 1st, I'm like writing business for February. So it's like January is just
gone.
So
you live in the future.
I live in the future. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that may be why like things just like sneak up on me because I'm like I'm never worried about the month that we're in. I'm always worried about the next.
And okay, that's what I found different with lately, when I started this fitness app and the team that I work with live in the future. It's already planning for like, okay, the next quarter, this is what you need to have going on. This is what we need to do or think about in terms of programs. So you're already 3 months ahead. You need to have planned what's going to happen come Easter, come January. So, and maybe I'm hoping 2023 will be different for me because coming into 2023, there's a plan. There are things I already know need to happen, should be happening. Whereas in 2022, I enjoyed Christmas, ate some good food. And then January was like, okay. And I had, I used to do 28-day challenges. I had stopped them for the end of the year because I was like, oh, no one really wants to do that. But I couldn't get back in the swing come 2022, January, February. Like I just couldn't get into it. But this year, I feel like.
You're ready.
I feel ready. And it's not about New Year's resolutions.
Right.
It's not about setting multiple goals and saying, I want to do this and I want to do that. And because, I tend to find that when we do that and we set these multiple goals, there are multiple goals with no plans.
Yeah. Or just having multiple goals is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. How do you execute each one? Or sometimes it makes it hard to pick and say, okay, I'm going to start here because you have so many things you want to accomplish.
Yeah. And you're having to change so many things about your everyday life, whereas if you could prioritize the goals into like, okay, this particular thing would help in so many facets of my life.
Yeah.
It would make everything better. then maybe you start with that one first.
Yes. So I have this New Year challenge coming.
Tell me about it.
This is a 6-week challenge.
Okay.
And it's going to be doing something every day towards whatever it is you decide as your goal. Okay. So the name of the challenge is decide, commit, succeed.
Okay.
My challenge to people is to pick one goal, fitness, health-wise, that they want, a realistic one that you can actually make a plan for over the next 42 days. Okay. That's the decide part, deciding on what that one main goal is that's going to for the next 62 weeks. Commitment is going to look like being intentional about this goal every single day. Every single day, you have to be committed to this goal. You have to execute certain tasks. I'll have a workbook, things for you to think about, consider that can be applied to your goal for the next 62 days. And I think with both of those in mind, a well thought decision, commitment that's intentional, how can you not succeed?
Yeah. And not a decision you made like when you're like sleeping in bed and you're like, tomorrow is the day.
Yeah.
Like a decision you're really like in the right mindset to do.
To be, and your goal may just be that, you know what, I really want to introduce new foods to my diet, but as such as life, one thing just doesn't work well on its own. You have to think about everything else outside of that, fitness wise and, just overall wellness. So if you decide that you're going to introduce new foods, this is going to be your goal over the next 42 days to be intentional about introducing new foods, whether you're going to be trying something new in each one of your weekly meal plans.
That means like get online, come up with your list of foods, come up with the recipe on how you're going to cook them.
Yes.
And intentionally get the calendar out and say, okay, this many days a week, I'm going to try this. And these are the foods that I'm going to try. And these are the ways that I'm going to cook them. And here is the day of the week I'm going to get all the ingredients. And you set yourself up so you cannot fail.
And that's just it. And outside of your particular goal, it's going to be other things. I'm going to be, obviously physically, I'm going to be challenging people every single day. But it's that life challenges you every single day in different ways. It's not every day you're going to wake up and feel like you want to work out. They're not long workouts. It's 20, 30-minute workouts daily. But the idea is you're getting it done daily, not missing a day, but also focusing on your main goal, what you want to get out of this challenge. Everything else that's in the challenge comes with it, things you have to include, because there's nothing in life where you just get to do what you want.
Yes.
But this is about building character. This is about building you up so you commit to yourself, commit to your goals. So yeah, that's how I'm hoping to take on 2023, starting 2023.
Amazing.
I'm excited.
You're always amazing.
No, you are. It becomes a compliment thing. What do you have? Do you have a goal for 2023?
I don't have like any set goals. Of course, the normal things that everybody have: eat better, exercise more. I've been talking with you about doing better on my social media.
Yeah.
And so that will be a goal, just because our market is shifted. And so I would like to add something else to the marketing plan. So I'm not a big social media person, but I feel like I think there's a few things that I could do on there to have an impact. And so,
yeah,
I think instead of talking about resolutions, and even like there is a goal, but we're not about setting a goal or making a resolution, but like putting a plan in place.
Yes.
And spending the time to put that plan in place. And so you and I have talked about how we can record and things like that. So I think social media for my business, I talked to Bob and Bailey last night about just trying to like, because it's just been a lot of junk
Mhm.
everywhere lately. And so I'm like, okay, what is the healthy, like, purging of all this trash that we've been eating?
Yeah.
And we've talked about like all getting online and picking out some, like, doing research on some different recipes to try, and making sure that, like, you know, we're not buying the stuff, and that when we cook, we're cooking those things. So
that actually works. Not having, when you have the stuff around,
yeah,
it makes it harder. Buying it, you're already setting yourself up.
And then, like, I don't know if anybody else's family is like this, but like sometimes, like, I'm on track and I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy good things. And then I come home and Bob goes to the grocery store and he had a weak moment, and there's like Oreos and ice cream.
Yeah.
And then there's sometimes like he's on track and he's like, okay, gonna do good. And then like I have a weak moment. So I feel like if we can get everybody on board, and I've been looking at different reels and stuff on, you know how like on Instagram, I'm going to sound like a social media expert for a second. Now on Instagram, they have like whatever you watch a video of, like
it keeps on suggesting more and more.
So I think I must have watched like a recipe video. And so now like I'm getting all these different recipes, but a lot of them are like healthier recipes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I've saved a couple of them to like try. So I think that's, you know, the accountability of the family and like trying to do it together is. So
I want to challenge you now. With that being said, I want to challenge you to decide, commit, succeed.
Oh gosh.
For those 6 weeks, those first 6 weeks, because you have the right idea, but just like everyone else, we give into the weak moments because there's no accountability. You allow yourself to be like, today's a bad day, like, or today, it's that instant gratification. And you give in.
You know what sucks about like starting your healthy eating in January? January is when all the king cakes come out, and they're just everywhere around you.
I know, but and one thing I learned from bodybuilding is there is so much power, and we did an episode on this, in saying no.
Yeah.
In saying no for yourself, deciding to stick to what you said. So if you said for those 42 days, so there'll still be king cake at the end of those 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras won't be over. You'll be halfway through February. And for those 42 days, hey, we're not having this. This is what we're eating. Either it's just elimination of no fast food. We're cooking at home. We're eating home-cooked meals. Home-cooked meals. And they may not always be the healthiest home-cooked meals, but I guarantee you they'll be much healthier than what you're getting when, yes. So if it's deciding.
Okay, I'll talk to Bob and Bailey about it, and I'll report back if they're on board.
I am excited. I like the idea of this. And sometimes that's the best. I had this quick rant just before we finish out, maybe last week on Instagram, that was talking about self-care versus self-sabotage, which I feel like could be a whole episode on its own. But it's the idea that lately society, I don't know if you've heard about this, and this may just be more of a social media thing where everyone's like, yeah, self-care, I need to do some self-care today. Or this is my self-care, but self-care tends to be indulgent activity. Self-care tends to be going out to splurge money on something or on an activity, on food, or I deserve this. It's going to make me feel good right now. Let me have this ice cream. Let me have this. Even though you have a goal. And each time we find that people use self-care as a reason to self-sabotage without realizing that it's self-sabotage. You're taking yourself away from whatever goal it is. And it may not even be a goal, but if you know that financially, right now, I can't afford this spa. Right now, I really shouldn't be going out with the girls and going for brunch because of self-care for mental health. It's going to hurt your bank account. That's not self-care. That's self-sabotage. You're giving in to instant gratification, in the moment, as opposed to waiting for delayed gratification, which may be better gratification.
Which is the real self-care.
Yes, exactly. Cleaning your house will be the real self-care, as opposed to going out and doing this and coming back to a messy house that's great. When you come home, you don't feel great about being in your home. Paying your bills, as opposed to worrying when they're coming to cut off the lights or coming to do this because you decided to spend your money elsewhere to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Self-care versus self-sabotage. So, 2023, guys.
Rock it.
Yes. Until next time.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to this episode of It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. If you like this episode of the podcast, visit our website, iswcpodcast.com, for show notes and other cool things.